Hi guys, I thought I'd do this video as a bit more of a tank review rather than a gameplay one. And before I show you a bit of gameplay, it's not the best game I've ever had in it, but it's quite good and I think it sort of highlights the strengths of this tank. It's the Conway. I've had this tank for ages now, pre-buff, and even pre-buff I quite liked it, even though it wasn't, it was in need of a buff, it wasn't great, but it did have some things I liked about it, it's slightly different, etc. So before I go into the game, I thought I'd give a quick overview of the tank and then show you what I'm on about with the game. So there's two configurations once you've got it fully set up. Depends which gun you prefer. I don't know which one's right, which one's wrong. I don't think it's right or wrong. It's just a preference, playstyle, and things like that. This is in the faster firing 120mm gun, which is what it came with pre-buff. And as you can see from it, it's 400 damage. Well, we'll go into the gun stats in a minute. But 950 horsepower engine for a 51-ton tank. It's quick. I mean, 40 kilometers an hour doesn't do it justice. It is actually very, very quick. Not in terms of top speed, but getting up there it's quick. 28 degrees traverse speed. Its reverse speed's good as well. The spotting doesn't really matter in a tank destroyer, but it is decent. And 1500 hit points, which is quite good. So if you compare that to what I think it's probably similar to, I would go with the Waffenträger. And see, hit points wise, even though it's bigger, it's got less hit points, which is a bit odd. But hey, that's that. These are both with the higher DPM guns, just to explain. So as you see, the Alpha's lower, DPM are 3076. I mean, that's not Tortoise, but that is brutally good DPM. I mean, the Waffenträgers is good, but that is a very, very good. Penetration, yeah, 260 for tier 9, that's not bad, I don't think. 276, with, I think that's with gold. Aim, accuracy is a little bit better, aim time's better, which is very important. And its power to weight 18.6. You think the Waffenträger can sort of accelerate quickly? This thing's, you know, 4 better than that. It's pretty impressive. If we compare that now to the derp guns on them, I say derps, that's being a bit unfair. No, they're not derps, just bigger, slower firing guns. As you can see, the damage was suddenly up to 600. So it's gone up from, what was it, 440 with the 120, 400. To 600. So it's a 50% increase in alpha, but the DPM's gone down to way lower, from 3000 to 2500. That's quite a drop. And the Waffenträger, despite having higher alpha, has now got higher DPM as well. But penetration hasn't dropped off. The penetration is actually slightly better at 260, whereas the Waffenträger's 246. Those sort of changes in numbers I don't think really make a massive difference. The reason that's 200 is suddenly you got Hesh as your premium for the big gun rather than APCR. Whereas obviously the Waffenträger's got heat, I think, as a premium. Accuracy 0.838, not bad for a big gun. Aim time 2.4. I think they're both very good aim times, and as you can see, power to weight is even better. So what you're losing basically with the gun, and you can see by these numbers, is rate of fire. You know, you're going from 7.69 down to 4.17. So although you're getting a 50% increase in damage, you're losing almost 50% of your DPM, to your fire rate. Aim time, half a second slower. Dispersion, 0.06. It's, if you're shooting at 400 meters plus, you may notice that, but otherwise it's not bad at all. And ammo capacity, you've got 5 less shells, which really doesn't matter. You're not going to use up that many in that. So anyway, that's the tank from that. Of course, the other thing is, let's start the replay. The buff made it more powerful with the engine, so it's quicker, accelerating, reversing, etc. They gave you that option of the second gun, and they gave it 10 degrees of gun depression from, I think, 6 degrees before then. Oh, something I always forget to do, and it's going to be too loud otherwise. So, the downside of the bigger gun is, if you look at here, you get the old 180 degree fire arc. You don't have that with the smaller gun. So it's similar to the ship barn, which is, this is obviously the tier 9 derivative of. If you go for the big gun, be aware you're limited to that 180 degree fire arc. I've played a few games with the smaller gun. If you can sit there and fire, it is blindingly good, really accurate, really fast firing, good damage, etc, etc. However, I think that this gun is better. And I think this game maybe showcases that a little bit. But the reason is, this thing's got no armour. If we pause it here, I'll show the armor model because I forgot to do it before. Let's shut down those two. There we go. This is the armor of the Conway. Now, people make a mistake of thinking this is like a ship barn. It's got no armor at all, and they fire high explosive at you. Great. If they do, 76mm of armor, 76mm, 132mm. High explosives, it may damage it, but it's not going to do a huge amount. It's not going to go straight through. However, 17mm, 14mm, 28mm. Artillery, bit different. But even side on, you know, it's 95, 47. It's not dreadful. So yeah, if people start firing HE at it, and I've done this myself. I'll freely admit, you're making a mistake unless you've got very, very good penetrating HE and you're going for the sort of, well, God knows where you're going to go to really punch through it. 76mm, that'd probably be the weakest bit, and there aren't many guns HE wise that can punch through that easily. So this thing has got two significant differences from the ship barn. One is it does actually have turret armour, so high explosive rounds, because the ship barn has got 15mm all the way around the turret. This thing, 132mm, still not going to stop an AP shell, but does make it a lot more resistant to high explosive rounds. And look at this here, that lower mantlet there, 264mm thick, spaced armour, 132mm. As you can see, there is a gap. So even heat rounds, it's only 356mm, you'll bounce them. It's quite surprising. Occasionally you will bounce shells with this, and it's a pleasant surprise when you do, but it happens. So yeah, frontally, it's not going to stop AP pretty much anywhere other than that little bit there, but it does have armour. So the point I'm trying to make with that is you can't sit there out in the open like in a tortoise and use the DPM against something that's spotting you. They will shoot through you. You only got 1500 health. RT will start zeroing on you because you're a nice big juicy target. Yes, if you're not spotted and you can make the gun sing, fill your boots, you can do a lot of damage, but those situations are quite rare. I think more often than not what you're looking at is shooting, getting spotted and diving down cover. But yeah, 644, can live with that. 600 is the average damage on it. Just to show you the secondaries, you've got Hesh as secondaries. So you've got premium Hesh, 770 damage, 200 pen, or the normal Hesh, 770 damage, 70 pen. 200 pen, 70 pen. Oh no, it's high explosive. Ah, that's interesting. But yeah, bit of a difference between high explosive and Hesh there. But so what I'm doing is double bushing at the moment, which helps a lot. Now, if you can see the reload time, I still don't think, considering it's a big gun that's laying out 600 alpha, I don't think that reload's that bad. And yeah, when people get hit, they know about it. So yeah, an IS-7 shoots me from God knows where, which quite surprised me. Wasn't expecting the IS-7 to be on this side. I would have thought he'd been down near where the tortoise is. But look at this shot here. Aiming. Oh no! Combination of bad timing, slightly bad aim, and a bit of unluck with the shell going low. But yeah, tracked my unblooming teammate. As you can see, I did apologise, but I don't think that would have made him happy. So to avenge him, there you go. So you can see how the double bushing, the smaller gun would have worked brilliantly because I'd be singing away. But this is where this thing comes into its own. Boom, 534 damage. I wouldn't be able to do that with a smaller gun. I wouldn't have killed him with the one shot. It'd have taken two. HE round, straight at the front of the turret, 95 damage. Okay, it hurt and took out my gunner, but not what he's expecting. If this was the ship on the FV 4000 and whatever it is, tier 10, I'd be looking at what, 600, 700 damage and a lot of crew out. So you can see it's very mobile. Although I haven't moved a lot, it changes position fairly quickly. And the traverse is quick, which is that 180 degree fire arc I don't think is that big a disadvantage. Because okay, you can get tracked, stuff can get around the side of you, and etc. But it's going to be unusual, it's going to be rare, and for what you gain in the ability to pop out, say, surprise mother bitch, and pop back into cover again, I like the bigger gun. I think okay, this is a bit of overkill. What's he on? 59 health, but yeah, you can only shoot what's in front of you. There you go. 58 health, sorry. But yeah, as you can see, I really like this. I think it's good fun. I'm not showcasing the gun depression because if you've got to hold down on this, it's amazing. If you haven't, it can still play well as long as you can get in a decent position where you've got that ability to withdraw behind cover during the reload, so you're not getting shot at. So shoot, get spotted, shoot, drop it. I just want to highlight something with this really quickly. Now you see how I've got a really clear shot on that? That is a really nice killing shot. But you see how the tank isn't outlined? What that means is the texture mapping isn't as accurate as the imagery. I.e., if I shoot now, I'm going to hit an invisible piece of those pipings. It's a really good tip to pick up, is be aware of that. Certain things like pipes and things like that, the models aren't as complicated as visually they appear. So even though it looks like I can hit him here, I'm actually going to be shooting, as you'll see, a pipe. Well, it didn't because somebody else shot him, but yeah, I was aiming a little bit high, hoping to just go over the top of it, but realistically that was more in hope than expectation. Even if the teammate hadn't killed him, I would have probably just hit the invisible texture. So they're all gone, bar 2 tanks, all over by the shouting. But 3,300 damage already, and I haven't really done a lot. You know, I've just sat there, fired a few shots. This is what I love about this, though. You know, it's not blindingly quick. It's not flying up there at 600 miles an hour, but that 40 kilometers an hour it gets up to really quick. And it means that even though there's one tank, why I stopped here I don't know, by the way. Itchy arse or something, I don't know. But it gets up there fairly quickly. It's able to influence the game. So you've got the IS-7 still on full health, sitting at the back. 600 into him. Reposition again. Now look at the same time. It's nice and quick. Already aimed. Boom. Aim. IS-7, I'm teaching you to suck eggs, but don't aim at the flat spot of the tracks, guys. It's spaced armour. It's angled down and out, so you get a counter overmatch on it. It's nasty. Aim for the tracks, through the tracks if you can. So that was the game. I said nothing amazing, but I think it did showcase a few of the bits and pieces. So as you can see, it's only a second-class mastery, second-class game, but 4,320 damage with hardly anything done. You know, it was what did we fire? 10 shots. Bear in mind, one of those was you know, one of the penetrating hits was 58 damage. So you know, it can really churn out the damage still. The bigger gun means you can fire, get behind cover, stop being spotted again, get the reload. The mobility means you can pop round, you know, keep turning up in different places if you are getting spotted. And you know, the alpha, that 600 alpha damage on the bigger gun, I think is better than the much better DPM on the smaller gun. And look at this, tier 9 against tier 10s, turned a profit. How rare is that? Well, I hope this was some use. Conway, it's carry on from the Charioteer, which is now an amazingly good tier 8 tank destroyer. I really like the Conway as well. I don't think it's overpowered. You look at its stats compared to the Waffenträger, it's comparable. Possibly even slightly worse, but I've not played the Waffenträger, so I can't compare them directly, but I like it. I think it's a good tank, and it can be a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Well, I hope this has been some use. See you again later, guys. Bye.